day of heartbreak and tribute in Gondomar, Portugal, as family, friends, teammates, and an entire community came together to say their final goodbyes to Diogo Jota and his younger brother, André Silva.
Friends and family of the Liverpool striker Diogo Jota and his brother André Silva attended their funerals today in their hometown in Portugal. Family members and leading football figures were seen attending the church service as hundreds gathered outside to pay their respects. The brothers died in a car crash in Spain on Thursday. The 28-year-old footballer had married his long-term partner just 11 days before the crash.
Just days after the tragic car crash in Spain that claimed both their lives, the two brothers were laid to rest side by side in a moving funeral service held at the Igreja Matriz de Gondomar.
It was a small, private funeral for a very public figure. Diogo Jota and his brother André were laid to rest at a church in the small Portuguese town where they grew up and where they began their footballing careers. The family had asked for privacy, but still the crowds came to pay their respects, wearing shirts and scarves of the clubs and country the brothers had represented with such dedication. While it was a private family funeral, there were friends and colleagues too. Bernardo Silva played with Diogo Jota for Portugal, while Roberto Martinez managed the side. While Liverpool captain Virgil van Dijk and left-back Andy Robertson arrived with two wreaths, one with 20, Diogo Jota's shirt number, and the other with 30, worn by his younger brother.
The quiet streets of their hometown were lined with mourners, some holding flowers, others holding back tears, united in grief and love for the fallen sons of Portugal.
He had also won the Nations League with Portugal and the Premier League with Liverpool. On the day he lifted the trophy, he explained how much it meant.
Us, as well as players, we wanted to make it happen. It's a great effort from everybody in the club, and it's a moment to cherish forever.
And today, in his adopted city, people continued to lay flowers and share their memories.
The legacy he leaves is, I think, that he had a spirit, joy, humility, kindness, youth, everything that was effervescent. I think that's why it's so impactful.
Wonderful player, loved by all. Brilliant husband, father, son, player, teammate.
Back in Gondomar, as the service finished, the two brothers' coffins were carried for a private burial. Two men of such promise, carried by friends and family.
As the coffins were carried out to the sound of soft weeping and heartfelt applause, the grief was shared by thousands, not only in Gondomar, but across the world. And when the brothers were finally laid to rest, side by side in the town's cemetery, it marked the end of a chapter that no one was ready to close.
Yes, of course, they were there this morning. We also know that some of the pre-season medical checks here at Anfield have been cancelled, and there's going to be a phased return to training. And we heard, didn't we, we've heard over the last few days, tributes from his Liverpool teammates. We heard from Mohamed Salah, somebody who he's been sharing a pitch with for the last few years, talking about how he was even felt scared to return to Anfield after what had happened. We saw some of the Liverpool players coming down here yesterday to lay tributes, and all eyes will be on them, of course, over the next few days, over the next few weeks, as they try to get back to training and preparing for the next season in a way that none of them thought they would be. Lots of questions for this club, which are really questions for tomorrow, of course, about how the team will cope and how Jota will be replaced. But those really are questions for tomorrow, questions that some people here have been debating with each other. But today is, of course, a day to reflect on the funeral, on what's been happening many miles away from here in Portugal.
Phil McCann reporting there.
This was more than a funeral. It was a farewell to two lives cut tragically short, and a reminder of the fragile line between glory and grief.